Hey guys, welcome back to my channel C4D Wala, and in today's video we are going to create this simple robot modeling inside of Cinema 4D. So without wasting any more time, let's get started. So here we are in Cinema 4D. So first thing we will do, we will create the chest portion of our robot. So I'm gonna select this cylinder, then I'll press N and then D so we can see our edges. Now over here height I'm gonna create 170, and I'm not gonna change the rotational segments. I'm gonna increase the height segments to, let's say, 16 or let's say 20. Yep, this looks good to me. Now what I'll do, I'll make this object editable. So simply press C to make this object editable, then select points and then hit Ctrl A, right click, go to the optimize, and now I'm going to select this H tool and press U L to select our loop selection. I'm going to select this portion and then I'm going to select this portion, then simply right click and choose bevel, and I'm gonna increase the offset value. Don't make any subdivisions, we don't need that right now. Yep. Now I'm gonna choose my deformer bulge, so I'll click on it and I'll move this inside the cylinder. Select this bulge and then in object we will get this option called fit to parent, then click on it, and now you can increase the strength of it, so we will get something like this. Now I'm gonna go in my front view and I'll hide this bulge deformer for now, and I'm gonna select my live selection and we will choose faces. And now by holding shift I'm going to select this much area like that. If you see over here, we will get something like this. Now right click and choose extrude, and make sure that you are choosing this preserve group. So extrude it inside like that, then right click and choose again extrude. So for that, now what I'm gonna do, I'm extrude it again and press T for scaling option and scale it. Press E and move this a little bit over here, then press D again to extrude and extrude it outwards. So we will get something like this. Now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna select this cylinder, I'm gonna bring my subdivision surface and I'll move this cylinder inside this subdivision surface, so we'll get something like this. If I hit Ctrl R, we'll get something like this. And now if I enable my bulge deformer, as you can see, we will get this kind of shape. So our chest portion is done. Now we will focus on another thing. So again I'm gonna select the cylinder and I'll move this over here. Now we don't need that much radius, so I'm gonna reduce the radius and I'm also gonna reduce the height of it, something like that. And rotational segment, I'm gonna make it 10, then I'm gonna increase the height segment to, let's say, 10, let's say, or let's make it 16. Yeah, this looks good to me. Now go to the front view and now select this cylinder, press C to make this editable, and now I'm gonna select these points. I'm gonna select this live selection tool, and then by holding shift I'm gonna select this points, then this. By we are going to choose alternate points over here. Yep, this looks good. Now press T for scaling option and scale it. Don't scale like that, go to the top view and first move this red over here and then move this blue scale over here. So as you can see, we will get this kind of shape. And now simply hold Alt and click on the subdivision surface, so we'll get something like this. Now this is not a proper, so select this cylinder again and go to the top view and move this a little bit over here and also a little bit over here. Now if I hit Ctrl R, as you can see, we'll get this kind of shape. Now I'm gonna select my model tool, select the cylinder, press T and scale it down, scale it upward like that. Now select this subdivision surface and in subdivision editor type 2 and subdivision render I'm gonna type 2. Select this subdivision and by holding shift select this cylinder also, right click and connect object plus delete, so you get something like this. Now go to the deformer and I'm gonna choose bend deformer. Now select this bend deformer and apply to this subdivision surface. Or you can change the name of it. As you can see, whenever you are going to select, you will find in basic the name. I'm gonna type over here hand. Select this bend and fit to parent, and if you increase the strength, as you can see, it will bend it. Now I'm gonna select this bend, press R for rotation and rotate. By holding shift I am gonna rotate it on 180. Now select this bend and I'll increase the strength like that. Select this hand now, press R, or you can go to the coordinates and you can rotate it on Z axis like that. Press E and then press W and move this over here. Go to the front view to check it out like that. Yep, this looks good to me. Now select this hand, hold control and move this over here. Now on Z axis you can either make it minus it, or let's say on minus, or let's say, yep, on X axis I'm gonna type -1. Now select this, press R for rotation and rotate it like that. Press E to move it, adjust the rotations. Yep, this looks good to me. Now to make the joint, I'm gonna create sphere. Go to the object and I'm gonna increase the segments, or let's make it 20 only, and I'm gonna reduce the size like that. Press E and move this sphere over here. Hold control and move this sphere over here. Like that. Let's see how does it looks. Yep, this looks good. Now we have to create the legs also, so for that I'm gonna select this hand. By holding control I'm gonna duplicate it, select this hand and I'm gonna delete this bend deformer. Select this hand, go to the coordinates and I'm not gonna type any rotation, and instead of -1 I'm gonna type 1 only. Go to the front view and bring back this leg over here like that. Then hold control and move this thing over here. Select both of them and adjust those things at the center like that. Then what we will do, we will select the sphere again and we will decrease the size. Go to the front view and I'll move this thing over here. By holding control, move this thing over here to duplicate it. So as you can see, we have some legs also. Now again I'm gonna select my cylinder. I'll bring down the radius over here, I mean height, and move this a little bit upward and reduce the radius. Increase the height a little bit, and over here you will find some option called caps, and then you will got this fillet option. And as you can see, we can create some offset, and you can also subdivisions over here. With the help of segments you can decrease the segments, but I'll make it up to 6 and move this over here. Now I'm gonna create one sphere and I'll move this over here, and for the segments I'm gonna choose 36. Then press C to make this object editable, and then go to the front view, select the faces, select the live selection tool, and I'm gonna select this much faces and I'm gonna delete it. Now select this thing, let's call this thing as head. Press T for scaling and scale it down. Press E and move this over here. So with the help of that you can create the head like that. And then if you want, you can do something like, let's create a cube, height let's say 50, X on X axis I'll make it 10 and Z axis make it 10. Now select this cube Size X, I'm gonna choose 4. Size Z, let's choose 4. And size Y, I'm gonna choose 10. Move this over here and increase this size, let's say 25. Size X, let's 2, and size Z 2. Yep, this looks good. Now see, again select sphere, and I'm going to choose radius 10 and move this sphere over here, and let's make this radius 5. I'll move this thing over here. So this is one type of antenna, let's say. Select both the cube and sphere, and let's move this thing for here now. And this cube should be at the center of this sphere, so I'll move this over here. Select both of them, press Alt G to group, and type this antenna, and go to the top view. I'll move this thing over here. Press R for rotation, rotate it on this axis. Press E, move this thing over here. Hold Ctrl to create a duplicate. Press R and rotate it like that, so we'll get these two antennas. Now this is our main model is done. Now we have to add some eyes over here, so for that you can again use sphere, but I would suggest select this ellipse only, I mean sphere. Hold Ctrl and drag it at the top. And now I'm gonna delete the rotation properties of this one. Press E, move this thing over here, and I'll move this one over here by holding Ctrl, create a duplicate. And if you want to reduce the radius, you are free to do that. I'm gonna select 2, and let's select 2. Select both of them, and I'll move them over here. So as you can see, our model is almost done now, like that. Now this is head and this is antenna, and all our should be parent with head, so I'll move this inside this head. Select this head, and if you want to increase the size of this head, you are free to do that. I'm gonna increase something like that, so it will look a little bit good. Yep. Now as you can see, this is a hole over here, so for that what I'm gonna do, select this edges, press U L to loop selection tool, select this, right click, and over here you will get option called close polygon hole. Click on it and simply click on this. So as you can see, it's closed now. Select this, what we call points, hit Ctrl A to select all of them, right click and choose optimize. So our main model is done. Now we have to do some lighting. Oops, one thing are remaining. I'm gonna select this pair, hold Ctrl to create duplicate, and we will adjust them over here also to create some hand over here also. So our model is done. I'll select all of them and hold Alt G, so we can call this as robot, like that. Now our color things is, so we have to color this thing, but before that I'm gonna choose parallel view, because this things looks good in parallel view only. So move this over here. Yeah, now I'm gonna add my camera, then I'm gonna add this plane, and I'll move this plane over here. So yep, if you hit Ctrl R, as you can see, you will see something like that. I think I need to increase the size of this eye, also this one, let's make it 4. Yep. Now we will add some lights, so I'm gonna choose area light. I'm gonna increase the size from here and here. Go to the top view, move this area light over here, press R for rotation, rotate it on this axis and then on this axis. Go to the right view, press E and move this over here. Let's press Ctrl R and let's see. Our model looks something like this. Select this light, go to the shadow and choose area, and if you hit Ctrl R you can see some shadows. Now select this light, or go to the top view, press Ctrl and move this light over here, press R, then press W and move this on this axis, and if you hit Ctrl R now you can see our model is ready. Now we have to add some simple colors over here, so simply double click on it, apply this color to the main. Let's make it red. Go to the luminance and choose red color. Select this luminance and I'm gonna decrease the brightness. If you hit Ctrl R you can see something like this. Then I'll double click and I'll apply this to this hand thing. Double click on it. I'm gonna give this a black color. Then go to the reflectance. Instead of specular plane I'm gonna choose Beckman. Reduce the roughness first, then reflection strength, and then increase the roughness to let's say 24. And if you hit Ctrl R, as you can see we will get something like this. Apply this thing, but before that increase the roughness a little bit. Press Ctrl R again. Yes. Now I'm gonna apply this thing for this one, then for this one, and then for this one. If you hit Ctrl R now, as you can see we will get something like this. Then double click, apply this color to this white balls. This one, for this one, for this one, and for this one. Let's hit Ctrl R and let's see. Now I'm gonna double click on it, go to the luminance. I'm gonna decrease the luminance to, brightness to 75% and press Ctrl R. Get something like this. If you want, then you can apply this color to this middle one also, and if you hit Ctrl R, as you can see we'll get something like this. But I think red should be good, or you can make it a little bit darker also, this red one, if you want, like that. I think this one looks good. I think we need to move this a little bit downwards. Yep. Now what we need to do, we need to apply this to this one and this one, and let's apply this thing to this one and this one. Now if I hit Ctrl R, let's see how does it looks. Yep. Now we will apply this white color to this one. Let's see. Yep. Now if you want, then you can apply another color for this one, like a little bit glassy look. So in color we will choose something like black. Go to the reflectance, I'll choose Beckman, reduce the roughness, increase the reflection strength, and increase the roughness also. Let's see how does it looks. It looks something like that. If you reduce the reflections and if you hit Ctrl R, get something like this. But I think we should apply this white color because we haven't included any environment yet. And then create one material and apply this to this eyes and this one also. And for this one I'm gonna choose black color. If you hit Ctrl R, we will get something like this. Now select this black color we have created for this one and apply this to our main flow, and if you hit Ctrl R now, you will get the reflection of this one over here. And if you want to make this more interesting, then you can go to over here, go to the reflection, and you can increase the roughness a little bit. And now if you hit Ctrl R, you will get this kind of rough reflections of this robot. Now I think we need to apply white color for this antennas also, so it's gonna be visible. And this black color we will apply some green color, and let's see how does it looks. it will look something. I think black looks good instead of this one. Now as you can see, our main model is done. Now with the help of this one, we can create some duplicate also. Select this robot and hold control and move this over here, then hold control and move this over here. Again we can create a multiple copies of this one in line. Like that. So if you hit Ctrl R now, we can see our robots like that. So this is how, with the help of simple modeling techniques, you can create this kind of robots in Cinema 4D.